Okay, we're up. So I think yesterday we decided that today we're going to talk about the features, which is exactly what we're going to do today. I've written down some things that I think we want, and if you guys agree, we can just talk about them one by one.
Let's go.
All right. So as you can see in the features we want list, there's editing posts, there's better thread integration, there's dark light themes, there's a database for users, and there's a profanity filter. So I think first thing we need to really talk about is the first build that we'll be doing. So what's going to be put into that build? So I think editing posts is definitely like a very basic feature, and I think we need that from day one.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think
Are we doing it like Twitter's doing or like Reddit is doing?
how is it
Feeds
different?
or
Probably mix of
people who
both.
you follow or subreddits?
That is also a good question. So I think that's something we need to decide on. So I'm just going to add something called
I think we could have both, I guess.
subs. I was thinking
Good.
about how to make both happen, but I didn't really have any good ideas about it. I'm not sure if you guys have any.
Mm.
Because the way it is on Reddit, right? Like I follow a bunch of people, but I don't see their content on my main feed. And with Twitter, it's even though I think if you follow hashtags, you see the tweets. It's not about the people or the hashtags usually. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I follow a bunch of subreddits on Reddit and I don't even see them.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah, that happens all. And now even Gone Wild is banned here, so use it anymore.
It is? Why? Who banned it?
I don't know. It's not opening up on my phone.
Leah banned it. Wow. Okay.
I don't think that's a thing that can happen, but okay.
Okay, Anant has been there recently.
I don't know. I haven't been on Reddit, but whatever. Well, I think that's something we should also think about, which is whether we're going to have an SFW content on the site.
Yeah, exactly. But because Twitter allows it.
Yeah. Do we have...
Aren't we just implementing text first?
Yeah, but...
Yeah, we should implement text first. We should implement users first, right?
Yeah,
Like we should have a basic login
Login
screen
setup,
and all
yeah.
that,
So we definitely need a login setup.
I don't think we need like our own email shits and all. We just need a social media login.
Any sort of
Yeah.
login where you have a homepage, etc., etc.
Yep. Yes.
So probably can do is the login setup. Definitely the editing posts. What else? Feeds or subs. I think we can do that for later. We'll put that on
Yeah.
the needs elaboration.
We need a backend for the users.
Yeah. So the database for users I've already put down.
Alright.
So I think we
I
probably.
think we can build a basic thing in Flask or Django.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. I've done Flask before, and it's definitely an application of it. But like Rogue said, if we do it in React, it's very easy to port.
Yeah.
If
But-
we want to scale, it's easy. It's easier in JavaScript.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's another thing we actually want to discuss, that what framework or language we're actually going to use.
I heard React Native is kind of annoying though.
Yeah, it is tough. It's not the easiest language. So
People are suggesting you just do it in Java for Android and Swift for iOS.
I
But-
don't think Swift is the best option.
Apparently, there's some conversion frameworks from Java to Swift automatically. So you
Right.
can just score it for Android and you'll get a port for iOS or something like that.
What?
yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard of something like that, but I'm not sure. We can definitely.
I mean, I'm sure it exists, but I don't know
I doubt it's
that.
how
Exactly.
good it is.
Yeah, exactly. Because then all these other companies wouldn't be so stupid.
Because UIs for them look completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why in React, I think you have like separate definitions for Android UI and iOS UI.
Right.
Another thing we really need to talk about is the proposal format. I'm not sure if Rohit, you got any time to actually have a look at it.
I looked at it, but then there's like so many different types of proposals. Is this like an IPR sort of proposal or something like that?
Yeah, so I think what we really need to look at is the different sections that come under it, and the ones we really want to talk about, I think we should probably put in. So
We have to add an RSS feed for the updation thing, right? Like, whenever we are adding something to the websites, users should be able.
I mean, do we need an RSS though? Isn't there like an API you can just call or something if you set that up?
I have no idea. I'm just guessing because like that's what most websites do, probably.
I'm not sure, but I think Rohit's done some API work. I think he'd have
Yeah.
some opinions.
What did others say? What API?
We need to have some sort of an RSS feed or API so we can like constantly update the user's feed
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're pushing something to the website, then the user has to.
How do you update the user?
That's what I sent a link yesterday, right? I think that's an API called Stream that automatically updates the feed.
Oh, where is
Oh,
it?
okay,
I didn't
okay.
see.
But I don't know. I think it might be paid though, so we could look for free alternatives.
Makes sense.
As far as I know, RSS feeds is.
Yeah, probably we could do an RSS one. RSS.
Or we can look for other options, of course. I mean, first of all, we need to figure out in what language we are the entire thing. So.
Yeah, that's also there. So I think let's keep the focus today for the features we really want. Like, if we have to code this application in like 14 days or something, because I think we all want to get like some sort of a proof of concept in. So if we're doing a proof of concept, what can we do in the next 2 weeks to make it look like a normal app?
We should have like we can grab a template of building an app. We need to figure out what framework you're using though first.
Yeah.
Best
Yeah.
framework or microblog.
So depending on the framework, if they already have a lot of existing assets we could use,
Exactly.
makes sense.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we'll find a template for a microblogging site.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if we do that, then that's great, right?
The best one everybody agrees on is React Native.
Right.
There's also Flutter.
Yeah, I've heard a
Oh,
lot
yeah,
about
Flutter,
Flutter. Yeah.
Flutter is Google's, I think. I think, can you design iOS with Flutter?
I'm not sure, but
Let me
I've
see.
heard it's for mobile.
Okay, yeah. It is used to develop applications for Android, iOS, Windows, Mac, Linux, and Fuchsia.
Nice.
All right. Build beautiful native apps in record time. Let's see how easy it is. Fast development, they say.
Okay. You're sounding like a Google spokesperson right now.
It's C++.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Really? That was Java.
It looks like C++, JavaScript, and Python.
Sorry, JavaScript, not Java.
JavaScript and C++ look kind of similar though.
Kind of similar, but
Oh.
this looks C++.
I mean, it's okay. Language is irrelevant. We can learn whatever we need.
Yep.
True.
Okay, so we have a lead on it. So what framework language? We have Flutter as a strong contender. We know React Native also works. Is there a third option that we want to consider, or is this the two?
We
go
could.
with?
I've heard of Ionic also.
Ionic, okay.
I heard it has like templates for apps, so we could look at Ionic.
Okay. So ideally speaking, we want something with some sort of templating going on, so we can just
Yes.
work faster and just get a proof of concept up. So, okay, we've got 3 frameworks. Next thing we need to talk about is we know we need a login. We know we need some sort of a post functionality. So that begs the question of actually doing the whole flow of posting. So we need to design that if we're doing the app. What's the next thing you do? I think then comes in your likes, dislikes, that sort of a thing, right? The sharing.
Yes.
Sharing
You want an
the posts.
upvote or a like?
Upvote or like? We can decide on it. Upvote, like.
Or call it something else.
Are we having it like Anant, you talked about flow, right? How's the UI flow going to look like?
Yeah.
Is it going to be like a proper scrolling feed with multiple tabs, or
That's also something we should really think about. I think the cleaner we keep it, like the more, if it's
minimal?
like
Yeah.
See, I'm sure there are a lot of things that we'll add in our like whatever document we are submitting to them, like proposed features, etc. I'm
Yes.
sure we won't be able to implement a lot of them.
no, because
But
like we don't have to implement all this right now, right? It's only like a
yeah,
set
exactly,
time frame.
exactly. Yeah. We just if at all we're making a prototype, it has to be a simple one.
Yeah.
But,
Yes.
yeah. But I mean, since we are brainstorming, I have a few ideas.
Okay, sure, go ahead.
Yeah. So one of the basic things is to accumulate to accumulate user data. I'm sorry.
I mean, sure, that's
Not
like
a
part
bad
of the
person.
process. Okay.
Just listen to me once. Just listen to me out. Yeah. So we accumulate user data and we store them in encrypted packages that even we can't see. Okay.
Yeah, great.
And
Right.
using that encrypted data, we can give suggestions.
Sure, why not? So that's like a recommender system kind of a deal. Yeah.
A recommender system. Yeah, a recommender for friends, for activities, stuff you can like.
Okay, that's a
I mean,
really
stuff that's going
great
on around.
point you brought up, because I was looking at one of the other apps which are in the social space, and apparently there's something called a thinking pattern that one of the apps is doing, which
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
it's kind of trying to combine Tinder and Facebook, and it tries to match you with
Right.
people who like the same stuff
Right.
you do and comment the same
Right,
stuff.
right.
So I think that's a very interesting
Yeah,
thing.
but you have to convince people that you're not that you're not using your data, that you're
Right.
not using the data. Like, yeah, so you have to tell them that it's encrypted for you and for us.
Right, but should be encrypted. Like, basically, we're not selling it.
Yeah, we're not selling it. Yeah, or we are, but like we're not telling them that we are selling it. Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Bruh.
Okay, I think we need to just like beep that out or something.
We are selling it, but only to the government of India.
Right.
I'm pretty sure they'll buy us. We are the new Cambridge Analytica.
No, pretty sure they already have all the details already.
Arogya Setu and all that. Okay.
I don't think Indian government uses sentiment analysis and all to appeal to voters.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet, anyway.
Okay, so is that all the ideas you want to talk about?
For now, I guess. I mean, I'm
Yeah, for
trying
now,
to get a few ideas.
Like that's just one idea that I thought was, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it's not being done as of now.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think we need that like straight away in our proof of concept.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do we do the dark light filled themes right away, or do we leave that?
Right away, I don't think it's necessary.
I mean,
not
shouldn't that be really easy to
But
do?
we should add that.
Should
and
be
the-
easy to do. Yeah.
But we should add something in future developments and all, because just to
I
make it
think
more impressive.
I think that dark theme, light theme, it should be an inbuilt thing in Flutter.
Yeah, makes
Then
sense.
we are good. Then we are good. Yeah.
So I'm renaming this thing.
Also, like, just look at the people who will be judging this thing. I'm pretty sure the people who will be judging this thing will not be hardcore tech people.
Right, so it needs to look good.
They'll probably be management people.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to say something in the monetization part of view of this.
Okay.
I mean, are we trying to make it a free app? I mean, yeah, I think we are going to make it a free app.
Yeah, social
if it
media
goes
doesn't
out.
work if it's paid.
Yeah. So I think we should probably have a few freemium, not premium, freemium. This thing's like a few parts of the this thing. Maybe you'll have to pay, or maybe in-app payments in the app.
Okay.
But they're gonna ask us. They're gonna ask us. Twitter is free.
Twitter is free. No, see, the thing is, it's a
Twitter,
choice. It's
Twitter
a
has
choice.
Something like
Twitter
Reddit
has
Premium.
advertisements though.
It does have ads, yeah.
I mean,
Like,
that's
promote
literally how they earn money. It's all out of
yeah, it's
We
either
ads
can, we
only.
can we can add that remove ads when pay
Yeah.
this much.
monetization.
Yeah,
But
like
I think the advertisements should look pretty slick. Like they should. There must be one particular corner of the screen where you see an ad, and that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think it works that way. Ads usually work based on, like, say, if you want to get money out of ads, it's basically they follow a few systems called CPC, which is basically cost per click.
Yep.
So if you click the ad, and that's when they check that, and
Yeah,
that's how you get money off it.
Right. I get what you're saying. I'm just saying that
Right.
like the app has to be visually appealing too, so we need to.
Yes,
account
yes.
I think the
Yes,
ads
yes.
need to merge into the flow.
Yeah, that'll also be there. Yeah, you're not gonna. Yeah,
Yeah, it shouldn't be like Android applications where you see an ad on top, you see an ad on,
Yep.
on the bottom,
Yes.
and
They shouldn't
I think it should
clash
be
with
like
the feed.
Reddit. Just
no,
come
you
along with
could
the flow.
add a few video ads in between if we want to, like.
No. I don't think we want it to be intrusive on the experience.
I mean, see how Reddit does it, right? Like,
not
it's-
right now anyway. Once
Yeah.
we
Not
have
right
a
now,
critical,
yes.
That's for future.
once we have a critical mass of users, then we can think about it.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to
No,
think about ads
we
right
have to
now.
think about monetization right off the start. That's what I read.
Yeah.
It's
So-
people usually make
Yeah.
a mistake. They finish the app and then they start thinking about monetization,
Yes.
which is where they fuck up basically.
Yeah.
So-
We'll mention all of your points in the
Yeah.
exactly.
proposal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I put monetization on the future work. Like, we'll have it in the proposal, but we'll
Yes.
not be doing it in the POC.
Yeah, put the
Right.
recommendation system also in the proposal.
Where
The
is
encryption.
okay? Yeah. Okay. I put that in. Okay, so right now for the first build, what we're looking at is a login setup for the users. Then we need to implement the flow of posting, and editing posts goes along with it. And then we have the upvote and like system. I think there's something else that's missing right now from the overall feed. I think it's either the user interaction. Okay, so that's comment. We probably need
Let me
comments
check.
or something of the sort. Like, how do users interact with each other, right? Maybe a messaging system. What do you guys think?
Messaging system. How is our blog app going to work, by the way? Like, suppose we implement a normal following system for the start, initial thing. We just have text people. It's like a chat room, right?
Right.
You're right. Right, yeah.
Is it going to be a chat room or like a global?
I think a global thing is better.
Yeah, makes sense. So if we're
Chat
going,
rooms have traditionally failed.
yeah,
Yeah.
if we're going along
they,
with
they
the-
used to be pretty hip, but now no one uses them.
yep.
So
If we're going along with like the lines of Twitter, so we need to have some sort of posting mechanism, right? So that someone posts an article and then people talk about it. Some sort of embedding needs to happen. Like, it can't exist in a vacuum. It has to, coexist with all the other platforms that are happening. So I think we need to have some sort of embedding system. Not right away.
I have another idea. So like Twitter has a character limit, right?
Yep.
But there are websites which don't have a character limit, like Quora and all.
Yeah.
So I think we can have two separate sections of the app. One section is where we focus on the microblogging part. The other section is like articles with a larger word limit.
Right.
But yeah,
Like
that's,
posts,
that's
you
one.
mean?
Like posts, yeah. Posts or opinion pieces or whatever.
I'm not sure how that would work because it's like wildly different things, right?
Yeah,
That's one to think about.
it is. It is.
So
It's one to think
I'm
about.
just going to put that in needs elaboration.
Right.
Long form.
By the way, Anand, the solution for your dark theme thing, I sent a picture.
Oh, okay.
it takes that much code on Flutter.
That's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just put dark theme in the first
Yep.
field then. Okay. I mean, that's great because that means that we can make the UI really good. I think, like others said, not a lot of technical people are going to be looking at it, so the UI needs to be more impressive, if anything, than the
Alright.
back end.
I think ease of access should be at the top.
Right.
Yeah.
So we definitely need
We
to
have to
focus on,
focus on fonts and everything.
yeah, so ease of access.
I think a lot of these other Indian apps that come out, they overlook fonts.
I think they
Yeah.
overlook pretty much everything in the UI department.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. True, true.
What do you want we have to make a logo also for our app.
That's irrelevant, and like you can do that pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. No, what I meant is when you open the app, it should open with our logo, which is
Yeah, the splash
obvious.
screen, right?
Yeah.
Splash screen. So that's definitely something we need to do.
Mhm.
So now let's walk through the whole experience right now. So the splash screen opens up, and then what does the user see on the home page?
Top of their feed.
Or
Okay.
is it opening for the first time? Then maybe sign up.
Who do you want to
Yeah.
follow?
Right, so we definitely need a sign up page, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, like Rohit said, we need to get them set up. So an onboarding experience needs
And
to
we could
Yeah.
probably use Google Sign-in API to use into this
Yes.
if it's free.
See,
I mean,
It is. It is.
See,
sign in with social
See, I'm
media.
pretty sure we can find a YouTube video on how to make a Twitter clone.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not even kidding if it comes to that. And yeah,
Actually, that is how you make a good version of a similar app.
Makes
Right.
sense. You have to emulate
like
what they're
Geo,
doing.
yeah.
That's a replica.
I mean, but
Yeah.
like it works, right? It's free.
Yeah, it works. I mean, we are adding proposals, right? We are proposing the changes that we do to this existing system.
Hmm.
But in the end, the code is our own because we simply cloned it. We haven't taken their code base.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't just like do a
Yeah.
Git clone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I think that exercise really helps. So like once we've moved past the splash screen, we've done a sign up, the user has signed up, and we've done an onboarding experience. So next thing they see is the feed, right? So
Right.
now they're seeing the feed. What is in the feed? We talked about text, right? Text only posts. So
As of now, yeah.
they have text only posts, so I'm imagining something like a subreddit. And
Yeah.
let's say it's a subreddit for gaming. So there's a headline which says, Cyberpunk 2077 release date. Okay, so they click on it, and then there's some text on it. Or do they see the whole text as it is?
Mm, I think they probably have to see your first few lines and then click it and open and try reading the entire.
Right.
I think Quora does that. Like you click on it and then it takes you into the post.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so in flow of posting, we need to decide whether it's going to be a preview or it's the full post. Because if it's a microblogging thing, like it should technically
Yeah,
be
with
big enough.
200 characters or 280 characters or whatever, I think you can just display all of it.
Right. And then you have to implement the commenting and the interaction, right? So that needs to be there. Like, once you've seen the post, you read the post, now what do you do with it? You either share it, or you upvote it, or you comment on it, right?
Yes.
So we have the upvoting. I'm not sure if I put in the sharing bit.
I think it's important to consider the amount of screen space each post will use.
That is also a very good point. I think we need
Yeah.
to see how
Yeah,
much...
because historically, what happens is just a second.
Okay.
Punk.
Probably rephrase this as just voting system. Downvote can also be there.
Hello?
Sure, sure. Yeah, yep. Yeah, others. You can hear. I can hear you.
Yikes.
I think
Oh,
there's some
Akash is in now.
issues. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we got a pretty healthy list of what we want in the first build.
Yeah.
I'm going to remove the examples now.
I'll come up with a monetization model in a couple of days. Maybe, yeah, a couple of days, yeah.
Okay, that's a good idea.
And do you want me to work on the security part too, a little bit?
Oh, we haven't
Yeah,
talked
yeah.
about the security at all. Oh my god.
I'll look into that too. If you
How
want me to.
are we going to secure all of this? I think that comes under the problem of storing the user data.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Sorry.
Yeah, so as far as engageability is concerned, like how engaging an app is, one common theme that all the apps have is you show users multiple things at once. You don't show them one post that clouds up the entire screen because people tend to get bored that way.
I mean,
Because they have
but
to use their
Instagram
fingers.
goes against that model, right?
But Instagram is a picture-based thing, right?
That's also very true.
So in a picture-based thing, you want to see the entire picture. If it's small pictures, then it's difficult for you to like. It's
Yeah,
basically
I
how
mean,
much
it has that
you're using
control.
your fingers. It has to do with that.
Right.
Yeah. So if you're showing them multiple posts, then you're keeping them engaged, and they have to use their fingers less. If they don't like something, if you're not following that, then they have to use their fingers every single time they don't like.
Right. So that's definitely something to consider. How much user interaction per good piece of content that they want to see. Okay, that's interesting. That comes under the how much screen space, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
How much?
I'm saying we should try to fit in at least 4 or 5. I mean, posts in a single. That's what Twitter used.
4 to 5 posts in the screen seems reasonable to me. Okay. So continuing on, the posts we've talked about the feed now. Is there anything else that we're missing now from the proof of concept that we want to?
Okay, guys, I'm being called for dinner. Just whatever's left is texted or like. I'll just
Sure,
watch
sure,
it.
sure.
See you.
See you. Good talk. I think that's about it, right? Do we do anything else on a Twitter-like app?
We need a basic like sidebar
Bookmarks.
and different
Which is
like
bookmarks in Twitter. Yeah, you can probably save the post or whatever.
Right, saving
can do that.
posts and what would go in the sidebar when you're looking at it?
like the settings page, all those other pages that we
Based
want to hide.
on, yeah, and probably based on who you subscribed or whatever follow, and based on that, probably need to know who else can you follow, like new stuff.
Okay, so we need a trending tab, but do we need that
True.
to be in the?
Do we need a global tab? Like
We do need a trending tab if we're actually looking. We need a trending tab.
We probably need a search, right? More than the.
we do need a search for sure.
Search for sure, but
Definitely need a
Um,
search.
and also we need to decide on how our create a new post icon is going to look like. Like, do we have it directly as like a typing input field at the bottom or like a button to create a new post?
I think a button would be nice, like how Reddit does it.
yeah. I mean, it's clean in Twitter also, just on top. It goes away after. But I think button is the best way.
Yeah, we can look at the specifics when we're designing it. I mean, that comes under the making the post flow. So that's something we'll definitely need to study. So definitely we need a search bar. In the sidebar, we need the settings. What goes in the settings, though?
What does go in the settings?
I'm going to check Twitter and see what they have in their settings.
Count, I guess.
Holy shit,
Account.
where is settings?
You can change your
Oh yeah,
username, all that.
email, yeah, email, password.
You can log out. You can delete your account,
Okay.
and then we should have like an option for disabling
Blo-
notifications.
blocking accounts for sure.
So blocked users is one. We need
Notifications, that's what's there here.
notification.
Like muting notifications.
Settings.
I think whatever's there on Twitter, we can just use those.
Okay, I'm just gonna write that in. Just check Twitter settings.
Yeah.
Alright, so we have the settings thing down. I think that which is a very basic part of what we want. We also, like you guys talked about, we definitely need some sort of a global tab. So we need to decide on how many tabs we're going to show the users because there's a lot of difference there.
I think 3 tabs should be fine, like your main feed, your search bar, and then your trending.
Okay, so tabs and
Where do you want to keep the search bar?
I think you just swipe right.
swipe right to search sounds good.
Or swipe right to trend? Like on Reddit.
Twitter has a swipe right to search.
Really?
No, they have a button in the bottom. Somewhere, someone has.
We can A/B test that function to see which.
Twitter has
Yeah.
a button in the bottom.
It's okay. It doesn't
Twitter
matter
has
where it is.
search
We'll
option.
decide all that in the design part.
But we definitely want a main feed, we want a trending, and we want a global.
As of now, yeah.
Isn't trending global? Same thing.
Something like explore then,
That's-
like fresh or like new,
Yeah, like Instagram. Yeah.
new/fresh. Okay. Okay, that's a lot of stuff we have now.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
But I think
We can start working, and then we can see what things we don't need in the prototype.
yeah, like whichever one's taking too long, we can
Yep.
take a call on all that.
Hmm.
So right now we have monetization, accumulating user data, embedding other media, and security. So the problem with having a sign-in thing is we probably need to have a database of some sort, right?
We need to have a backend running.
Right, for this to actually work.
We need to deploy it somewhere.
Or what we can do is we can have a sample user with sample posts.
For prototype, yes. But we need, exactly, we can use that in our proposal because we need funding, right?
Right.
We can use that as bait.
So we have to figure out how to make mock users posts or just make
I think the prototype we can just do it on localhost. You can do it on your PC, Anant, and then take screenshots and post them.
right, that makes sense, but that it's always better to have something in hand that people can use and experience.
True. I think lots of these hosting websites like Firebase or AWS have a starter kit
Right.
which allows you to have a certain amount of storage, certain amount of database access.
So even if we have like 5 or 10 users, like it's enough to just show like a populated feed.
I think that should be doable with Heroku and all.
Yeah. So that's something we need to think about. I think that's about it. I'm
For now,
done.
yeah.
In the future work, what else do we talk about? Is that enough? Storage and local servers is definitely a future work problem. What framework language? We need to talk about that. So we need to take a decision on that. How do you update and use?
I think we can go through the pros and cons, Anant.
Yeah. So I think the to-do for us now is first thing we need to finalize this with the other dudes.
Yep.
The final feature of the final features we want in the thing. While
and decide
that's
what framework we're using, what
while that's
language.
happening, I'm going to mark a few of the cards with colors, the ones we need to take decisions on.
Yeah.
So that would be the framework, because that is a very important thing. Updating the user feed is also a design decision we had to make. Long form content, not so much. How much screen space? That's something that's not as important. But I'll just make it. I'll just make it green. And I think that's about it. Plenty of stuff to think about. Hey, Prashant
Yo.
is in.
So,
Highly accurate AI to detect hate speech. We could probably put that under future work.
Yeah. Would love to do that, but no resource.
Yeah. So I think that one is.
The resource is there, Darod. I have arrived.
Yeah.
I've come. I've come. I just came to see.
So I've removed that list because everything we don't have resources for, we can just put under future work.
Yeah.
Not enough skill is.
then maybe remove monetization for now because.
I mean, we
but
like
yeah,
you said.
let it be. I'm sorry. Let's just let it
I
be.
think half of the stuff goes under not enough skill on it, so I think you can remove that list.
Yeah, maybe. Removing that list as well. Okay, we have a nice list now, and we know exactly what we're going to think about. So, what should be the agenda for tomorrow?
I think we dial down on the final set of features by talking to the guys today and tomorrow, and fix on the framework.
Yeah, okay, so like you said, we probably need to finalize the final list of features so we can actually start dividing up this work.
Yes.
Because I think we all want to just get a proof of concept going so we actually get some idea about what's going to happen. There's also, we need to have like a department working in the proposal because the documentation, as I've realized working on GSOC, does not write itself. So that's like a full-time job. So someone definitely needs to be on documentation while we're doing this. So
there's so much to write as well.
Yeah,
considering
exactly.
the list of features that we have.
Yeah, plus screenshots and all that stuff. So I think the wide list we'll basically have is probably 2 or 3 teams of developers, and we need to have a meeting about 3 questions that we have right now, which are open. And then we just divide into teams and start executing. So hopefully by tomorrow we'll all know what we're doing. I think that's a fair expectation. Yep. What do you guys think?
Yep.
Cool. I'll look into the monetization even deeper and probably start looking at the security part of it also tonight, tomorrow.
You can do that, but I would suggest all of the members really think about these 3 things, because the more inputs we have on these 3 things, the more clarity we'll have.
Yeah, this is the main. I'll do that separately.
Yeah, so we'll all just think about all these 3 things, and then let's reconvene tomorrow and have a discussion, and then just divide the work. Cool. I think that's it.
Yes.
Okay, anyone else want to say anything right now? Please go ahead.
Akash typing something.
Yeah, I've recorded the entire meeting, Akash, so you can just listen to all of it. I'll post it on Batman or something as an unlisted. I'll send you a link, don't worry. Okay, I think we're done then.
Yep.
Alright,
Yes.
Good talk, guys. Very productive session. And let's hopefully get this done.
Yep.
Good.
Alright. See you.
Alright. Good night, everyone.
See you again.
On check mail.
Okay, I'll check.
Thing.